It is the last game of the season, and we are solidly mid-table. And until the game before this one, I still thought we were in danger of being relegated. It's uncomfortable to say the least. We weren't expected to finish this high. I wasn't expecting us to finish this high. I was expecting a relegation fight, and the fact that we're not in a relegation fight means quite a bit. Now, if I can only get my board to spend some of the money we've earned for them, I'd be much happier. My name is FM20, and it's time to get Réal. So we're going to start over here today just because, you can see a little bit what's going on. I bought a player. He's not going to be here till the next transfer window, so you're not going to see him till next transfer window. But I paid a decent amount of money for him, but I think when you see him, you will understand why. We are in 10th place. If Leganes wins, we can fall down to 11th. If we win, the highest we can go is 10th. So, we're not going anywhere. Espanyol won the Copa del Rey, so they are in the Europa League. Top 4 teams go to the Champions League. Sevilla goes to the Europa League, and I believe Athletic Club's going to go to the Europa League as well. We set a La Liga record for most yellow cards in the season, 120, and that's with a game left to play still. Our 54 goals are 7th highest. Our 62 goals allowed are 5th best. We had 5 red cards. Our attendance was 20th highest. Barcelona ran the league going away. They won it by 21 points. Over Real Madrid. They had the league won 7 or 8 games ago. Let's see, Traore, 17 goals. Alvaro Sanz, the highest rating is 7.29. Javi Pardo, 10 assists. Traore, 5 players of the match. Aklis and Quinque Clemente, 14 yellow cards. The 14 yellow cards is the big reason Aklis isn't coming back, plus the guy signed. And Jurgen, 2 red cards. So I'm hoping that will not be there next season. Let's go to the last few games we played. What did we play? We played Atletico and Villarreal. Yeah, okay. The last few games of the season weren't bad, but I think it was after the Real Madrid game when I realized that in my heart we weren't going to get relegated. So I started playing some younger guys. Barcelona thumped us 3-1. Alexander Griezmann and Fati a goal. They were 3-0 up at the 36th minute, or 3-1 up at the 36th minute. Prado had a goal in the 19th minute. Madrid just absolutely stomped us 4-0. It didn't help when Julian Rusev got sent off for double yellow in the 62nd minute. Valencia, this was a fun game. Oh my God. You want to talk about highlight after highlight after highlight. If I was going to be live commenting this game, this episode alone would have been 20 minutes by itself. This game alone would have been 20 minutes by itself. We had 21 shots, 14 on target, a huge possession advantage. They had 18 shots, 10 on target, and I swear I saw every single one of them. Jose Gaya had a goal in the 4th minute. Jada got it back in the 12th minute. We went ahead in the 16th minute. They equalized in the... I'm missing the Martial goal. So Gaya scored in the 4th minute. Martial scored in the 8th minute. Jada scored in the 12th minute. Traore equalized in the 16th minute. Gonzalo Guedes scored in the 19th minute. Gaya scored in the 22nd minute. Lassina Traore scored in the 28th minute. Parejo scored in the 51st minute. We scored in the 85th minute, and we were pressing at the end of the game. We almost. And yeah, horseshoes, hand grenades, hydrogen bombs, and some spray on deodorants. It's the only time almost really counts. But yeah, we almost pulled this out. This was a fun game to watch. It doesn't look like it, with the 6-4 and the 6-5 and everything like that, but the guys played a fairly solid game. I started Matozovic and Yardi. If you saw back on the home screen here, I promised Matozovic when I signed him I'd send him out on loan. Instead, I decided to keep him here and start him more often to get him some playing time. And he did okay for us. He's a youngster. He's going to get a lot more playing time next season. Against Cadiz, our nemesis, the save, Cadiz. We FM'd them. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They were 2-0 up in the 84th minute. Carabonco got a goal, Aklas got a goal, and we clawed the drawback. Against Athletic Club, we got FM'd. They scored in the 95th minute. Ian Vera had a goal in the 95th minute that literally just, I walked away from the game. I literally saved it, shut it down, walked away. I was that upset at it. And against Levante, we drew. This was really, Jurkin got sent off in the 4th minute. I just this horror show of a double lunge sliding tackle in the corner, near the corner of the box. VAR took like 2 minutes to decide whether or not it was a penalty. And he got sent on a straight red, and we did well enough just to hold them scoreless. Once they were a man up, they really started pressing. This is actually high for them. If you go back and look at the other games, they were all the way back here, but once we were a man down, they came up, and they didn't come off the cautious, but they had their opportunities. They just didn't take them, so we ended up with a draw. And then against Alaves, we scored. Navarro Sanz goal in the 50th minute. We totally dominated them this game. 19 shots, 13 on target. Huge possession advantage. Today, we are playing Deportivo La Coruña. So, I'm not going to start my best 11 for this. I'm going to start my developing 11. Because frankly, we've got nothing to lose. And I want to see how some of the younger players do. So, with that said, I'm going to go check my roster, set the reserves, and I'm going to be back with that game in just a bit. Okay, well, this is a bit interesting. I saved the game right before I went to bed last night. It was right at the beginning of the ScreenFlow stuff, and for whatever reason, it will not let me advance, which I find odd because I could advance to all the other screens, just not this one. I even took the ScreenFlow off that does the transfer rumors. I've tried different skins, and so far nothing has worked. So what we're going to do is just quick pick. We're going to take a one-day vacation. And it looks like we lost. No, we drew. 0-0. Because Coruña was in danger of being relegated. 4 shots, 2 on target to their 24 and 15. Well, Rabui certainly earned his money there. Okay. You know what? Your defensive work was top-notch. I don't know if it was top-notch or not. Villarreal fell. You know what? We will get a team report on all the teams that are being relegated, because you can find some good players and get their release clauses taken care of as well. So like on Celta Vigo here, if we take a look at their roster, you sort by minimum release fee. Okay, yeah, we're not going to get Dennis Suarez or anything like that, but Abel Ruiz, maybe. You know, yeah, it says he has a 76 million euro release clause, but they also have some younger players too that look like they might have some potential. So you know, you get a team report on the senior squad, and you get a team report on the U19s, and sometimes you can find a deal. And frankly, once you're up in like La Liga and the higher teams and things like that, go to the Premier League, go to the Bundesliga, go to Portugal. Take a look at the teams that are being relegated there, because sometimes you will find some players there who are willing to leave for a little bit of money. Now the question is, how much money do we have? And we do not know that yet. You know what? I'm going to do this real quick with Girona. And then we shall go forward, and hopefully the screens won't lock up us anymore. 10th in La Liga represents a new high. I didn't think we could finish 10th. That shows you what I know. So, the things I talked about at the beginning of the episode remain the same. And you know what? We will go look at the players right now. And we are going to sort by goals. Now we're going to sort by appearances. So Valentin Rabui led us, 41 appearances, 1 off the bench, had 1 assist. which was really kind of cool. It was the long kick to, I'm totally blanking on his name now, but it was very good. It happened a couple episodes ago. Solid keeper for us. Well worth the money we've paid for him. His value is definitely worth more than 3.7 million euros. He's kind of in that zone for me, though, where he's good. I wouldn't mind getting somebody in better eventually. So, maybe we find a youth player that can take over Dale Calzada's spot as the backup, and then, in a year or two when Raboui leaves, or when the youth player gets better and Raboui leaves, we go from there. Kike Clemente, really quiet season with 38 starts, 2 assists, 1 player of the match, a 6.98 rating. Solid season. Alvaro Sanz, I promised him a new contract. He's not getting any better than where he is now, and he's going to want easily 18,000 euros, and I just don't know that he's worth it. He's 23 years old. He's not going to get any better than this. Something tells me I should go back on my promise to him and just move him for whatever money I can get. But he had an okay season for us. 36 starts, 1 off the bench, 1 goal, 5 assists, 2 players of the match, 7.28 rating. His defense was really, really good. Alexander Auclas, a decent season. If you take away all the yellow cards, he got 31 starts, 1 off the bench, 2 goals, 5 assists, 6.94. Pedro Ruiz really fell off this season. 3 stars, 3.5 stars. He's not a good League One player, La Liga player. 30 appearances, 6 off the bench, 7 goals, 3 assists, 6.92. Jaime Hardy also fell way off. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He's not coming back. 30 appearances, 3 off the bench, 1 goal, 4 assists. Joe Worrell, solid season until he dislocated his shoulder. 28 appearances, 1 off the bench, 3 goals, all of them off set pieces, and a player of the match. Javi Prado, he came on at the end of the season. At one point in time, he was 1 goal. The opportunity is there to sign him. I don't think I'm going to. Not with Traore on board. 27 goals, I wish. 27 appearances, 7 off the bench, 8 goals, 10 assists, a player of the match. Lassina Traore, signing of the season. He's wanted by Frosinone for some reason. 26 appearances, 8 off the bench, 17 goals, 5 assists, 5 players of the match. Marcus McGuane, 1 goal in 22 appearances, 8 off the bench. Max Mays, 1 goal off a set piece. 18 appearances, 6 off the bench. Alvaro Nunez, 16 appearances, 1 off the bench, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 players of the match. He's really come on. Jacques Roche, 12 appearances, 5 off the bench, 4 assists, 1 player of the match. Din Sula, the super sub, 9 starts, 10 off the bench, 5 goals, 2 assists, a player of the match. Alexander Robles, 9 appearances, 7 off the bench, 2 assists. He's kind of in that same range that Ruiz is. He's good, but is he good enough? I don't think so. Karamoko, quiet season, 6 goals, 15 appearances off, or 6 goals, I wish. Well, he had 5 goals, so he was close. 6 starts, 15 appearances off the bench, 5 goals and assists, 2 players in the match. Joel Powell didn't get a lot of playing time, but when he did, he was okay. I mean, there was nothing good about him. There was nothing horrible about him either, but I'm probably going to move him on because he's not worth the 7,000 euros I'm paying him. 5 starts, 8 appearances off the bench, 1 goal, 1 assist. Alex de la Calzada got 2 starts and was okay. Ruben Garcia got 1 start. Lorenzo Moretti got 1 start. I loaned him out to Tarragona, and they said he's going to be a full-time starter for us, and they never played him. And after the second time, the head of youth development came back and said, "Look, they're not playing Lorenzo Moretti." I just recalled him. I mean, I'm not going to sit around and play that sort of game. Oddly enough, Jose Antonio Molina got 38 goals in 37 games for the B squad, and I'm not quite sure how he did that because he's not a very good striker, which means the competition the B squad was playing was not very good. Gorka Martinez and Jacobo Sampdero are going to be on the under-19s next year if I don't loan them out. They've both got potential, but I'd like to see them get it. See if they can't get more playing time. The under-19s, they did... Oh, and I hit the wrong button. You know what? We'll get back to that here in a second. My under-19 squad, they've got a couple of guys on there. Marcelo Salinas is the youth player from Peru that my scout found that I brought in. He finally showed up. I'll show him now, but I'll also show him... I believe I've already shown him, but I'll show him at the next one or two. Ignore these down arrows. It's just FM being FM. Drive me up a wall. 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. Plays all three midfield positions, but he's a left winger. He's one of the reasons I'm not too concerned about bringing Yardy back. And then who was the other one? Jose Perez. He's a 3.5-star potential goalie, but he's really not. And then, you know what? Let me see if I can't get to them real quick. So the under-19 squad, if we go, they were in the U19 Division 1 Group 4. And they finished mid-table there. They were solid. 14 wins, 6 draws, 12 losses. They had a, what am I looking at here? This line right here. A plus 11 goal differential for 48 points. You know, there's nothing terribly wrong about that. When you consider that my U19 squad is not the best in terms of the players I have on it and the coaching staff and the fact that the facilities are bad and everything else like that. One of the things I'm really hoping this summer is that the ownership will finally spend some money. So speaking of money, let's see where we stand. I can tell it's going to be one of those days. This is the second time I'm redoing this because the first time I did it, after I paused the last time, instead of hitting the pause button, I hit stop recording and I didn't realize it. Okay, I'm demoting myself back to amateur YouTuber. We finished 10th in La Liga. That's a new record high. Our previous best was 13th in 1953, I want to say. Bakary Diatta was the pick of the two players. He had a really good season. He was injured, which is why he didn't show up on the last review we did. 14 goals, 4 assists, 2 players in the match. Solid pickup. And then the other one was Jurek. If you don't count the 2 red cards he had a solid season. 1 goal, 4 assists, I want to say. End of season awards, Alvaro Sanz was the fans player of the season. I would have thought Traore would have won it, but Sanz won it going away. I'm not quite sure why, because he had a solid season, but it wasn't anything that stood out to me. And I talked about this a few minutes ago. Part of me says we're probably going to move him on because he's not going to get any better. 1 goal, 5 assists, 2 players in the match, a 7.32 rating. If we look at Jurek in here, 19 appearances, 7 off the bench, 3 assists, 1 player of the match, 7 yellow cards, 2 red cards. He will be a good midfielder eventually, assuming he doesn't get, assuming he stays on the field long enough to improve. Goal of the season, Numancia. I watched this earlier, and it's not really what I would consider to be the goal of the season. We had the one where either it was Diatta or Karamoko ran almost the entire length of the field and beat the keeper. This one here, Traore's going to run forward, get inside the box, take a nice shot. It was a well-struck ball, but I don't think that was a goal of the season by any stretch of the imagination. Luciano Traore, signing of the season, a free from Ajax. And Alvaro Sanz, 23 years old, young player of the season. Last time he's going to be able to win that. Season review. We were tipped to be relegated. We finished 10th. Went to the club for the end team meeting, said, you know what, with a couple of new additions, we can avoid relegation. And they all freaked out and said, hey, you're thinking you're reaching too high. And it's like, we finished 10th, people. Come on. We can do that again next season. So I told them to prepare for a relegation battle. They were all happy with that. Season injury report. Jose Miguel damaged his spine. He was out 6 months. Ruben Garcia broke his leg. He was out 6 months. And then everything else. Kovacs was a youth player. Karamoko was out for 2 months with a torn thigh muscle. Jawara was out for 7 weeks with dislocated shoulder. Those were the big ones. We really didn't have a lot of serious injuries on the senior squad. A lot of them were very niggling. Like as an example, Kovac had 7 injuries, but a lot of them were like 2 days here. A lot of them were like 2 days here, 3 days here, sort of thing. Allegri won head coach of the year. Barcelona finished with 101 points. Espiritu Santo came in 3rd because Espanyol finished 9th, but they won the Copa del Rey, so they're going to the Europa League. And then I missed it. Oh, our initial budgets. It's a bummer. There's no other way to put it. We're getting less okay, in the overall scheme of things, we're getting about as much as we got last year when we first came up. They increased our payroll to 325,000 euros, but our transfer budget's only 7.78 million. Last year, our budget was 9.28 something. With a little bit of tweaking on the budget-wise thing, I've got 60,000 payroll I can spend and a transfer budget of 10.8 million. And that's before I send any money to the scouting budget, which I should probably do now. Because I can always take that money back. Let me get back to it. They're delaying the required ground expansion. Provided the club is able to retain its current category, we're 6,000 seats short. And the kicker is, Nueva La Victoria was built in 2001. It has room for 12,569. It can be expanded to 15,000. And that still leaves us 3,000 short. So we're either getting a new stadium or we're going to be ground sharing should we stay up next year. Probably both. Unless they can expand Nueva La Victoria even bigger. We're getting a new lower league affiliate. I couldn't get a loan manager. I was able to get the number of scouts increased. I couldn't get more coaches. And I couldn't get a loan manager. And I'm going to wait another couple months and then talk about training facilities and stuff like that. Our finances are secure. I don't know. We're getting the TV money. We finished 23 million euros in the red this year. Or in the black, rather. In the black. We made money this year. We have no debts or loans. We have sponsorships. I mean, it's nothing near what anyone else is getting in terms of, your Barcelonas and your upper teams and stuff like that. But this will go up because we had such a good season this year. Next year, we're projected to have a 46 million euro balance in the positive. It's all going to be TV money. And for some reason, we're just not spending it. So, it's going to be an interesting offseason. There's going to be quite a few players leaving. There's going to be a lot of new faces coming in. A lot of old hands are going to be staying behind. But I think next year you're going to see a lot more youth players playing. I promised Matozovic I'd send him out on loan. I'm not. I'm probably going to keep him. He's going to take Ruiz's spot. Ruiz will come off the bench. Clemente will probably become captain. It's going to be one of those cases where we're going to move on some players and then try and get some good young impact reserves in. I've got a solid first team. Aklis isn't coming back. Poitov's not coming back. Yardy's not coming back. But I've got solid replacements for them, I believe. And then, Rousseff is solid. Jad is solid. Nunez is solid. Sands is solid, but he's not getting any better, and I can't have that. Worrell, solid. Traore, solid. Jurgen, good, getting better. Mace, absolutely solid. He'll get better. He had a decent amount of playing time this season. He will only get better. So we've got some really good building blocks. And I think next season, mid-table is eminently doable. I was really worried about this season. I thought for sure we were going to be in a relegation battle, but we beat the odds. And we'll do it again next year too. This was a bit of a bummer of an episode. I'll be the first to admit it. It's not what I wanted. I'm not quite sure what was going on with the skin and the screen flow, and then my own incompetence screwed up the second part. So, yeah, back down to amateur status. All right. On the other hand, we did get 121 yellow cards. So, my goal next season: more points than yellow cards. It's a dream. I can dream. With my luck, it'll be a nightmare because we'll end up in triple digits again. That said, if you did like what you've seen and heard, please subscribe to the channel for more content. I'd love to hear what you thought about the season. Leave a comment down below, and I will get back to it as soon as I can. My name is FM20. I thank you for watching.